Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we will be starting to talk about the letters that come from the lips, and we'll talk about the fa, the waw, and the ba. So bismillah, let's start. In terms of learning outcomes and what we want to get out from this video, we want to, number one, understand the makhraj of the letters, the fa, the waw, and the ba. Number two is recognize some common errors with these three letters. And number three is with regards to the waw, understand the difference between the waw maddiyah and non-maddiyah, so the lengthened and unlengthened waw, and stress the importance of the lips in the makhraj of waw. Let's start with the makhraj of fa. F, fa, fi, fu, f. The makhraj of fa is quite simple. When you say f, you can recognize that it's coming from the inside of the lower lip with the tip of the upper teeth. F, F. So why do we say the inside of the lower lip? Now let's imagine this being our lip and this being our top teeth. And if this is the outside of the lip, so when we say outside is when you close your lips, what you see is the outside of the lips. And the part you don't see is the inside of the lips. So if this is the lips, that's the outside, and this is the inside, and here's your top teeth. When you say F, F, your top teeth are near the inside of the lower lip. So you don't say F, right? Your teeth aren't on the outside, they are on the inside. Now let's go to an image that will make it a bit simpler to understand. So here's that makhraj of fa. You see the lower lips when we talk about the outside of the inside. So your outside is the part you see, the inside is the part you don't see. So the fa comes from the inside of the lower lips with the tip of the upper incisors. And let's mention one of the common errors with the letter fa. In some accents, the fa is pronounced more like a V sound, like the English V. So in the word والضفادع, والضفادع, that's the correct pronunciation, but it would be incorrect to say والضفا, ضفا, va is incorrect. In slang, some of us say ضفدع, ضف, while it should be ضفدع. So the fa should be pronounced as a fa rather than a V sound. Now let's move on to the makhraj of waw. Let's talk about the makhraj itself, talk about the lips and why it's important, talk about the difference between the waw, which is a maddiyah waw, and the non-maddiyah waw, and talk to some common mistakes. Starting with the makhraj of waw, the makhraj is by rounding the lips. Wa, aw, aw, wa, wi, wu. So the makhraj of waw is by rounding the lips. It's incorrect to say aw, aw. The lips have to be rounded. Aw, aw. That's the correct makhraj of the letter waw. So the key point is that the lips have to be rounded with the letter waw. So here's the makhraj of waw, as we said, and it's by rounding the lips. Aw, aw. Now what is the difference between a waw maddiyah and a waw which is not maddiyah? If you remember from a few videos ago, we defined the waw maddiyah and we defined it from a certain makhraj. If you remember a, I, u, these three, do you remember which makhraj they come from? A, I, u. Correct, they come from the makhraj of al-jawf, the emptiness of the throat and the mouth. U. So we defined waw maddiyah as a waw which has a sukoon, a waw which has a sukoon, and before it is a letter which has a dhamma. Bu, mu, u. These are waws which are maddiyah. So anything other than that is a waw which is not maddiyah. Aw, wa, wi, wu. So these are waws which are not maddiyah. So u is a waw maddiyah, aw is a waw not maddiyah. So the difference is the waw maddiyah comes from the jawf, so from the emptiness of the throat and the mouth. U, and the waw not maddiyah, aw, wa, wi, comes from the lips by rounding the lips. So let's talk about some of the common errors with the letter waw. The very first error is not rounding the lips. So for example, the correct pronunciation is awliya, awliya. It would be incorrect to say aw. You see the difference? Awli, aw versus aw. So rounding the lips is part of the makhraj of waw. The second common error with the letter waw is to pronounce it similar to a V and to say vakan, vakan, while the correct pronunciation is wa, wakan. So there's a difference between wa, the makhraj of waw, wa, rounding the lips, and va, va. Different makhraj between wa and that V sound. And the third very common mistake with the letter waw is to make it thick. So a mistake would be to say wa, wallah, wa. Wa is incorrect. Wa is correct. So we say wallah, wallah, and not wallah. Let's move to the third letter from the lips, and that is the makhraj of the letter ba. Ab, ub, ib, ba, bi, bu. So with the letter ba, the makhraj is by closing the lips. Ab, ab. And here's the makhraj of ba. As we said, it's by closing the lips. Ab, ab. And if we wanted to mention some of the most common mistakes with the ba, the first one would be having a bit of wind come out with the ba, and that makes it close to the English P. So it would be incorrect to say pismi, pismi, while it's correct to say bismi, bismi. In the basmalah, we want to say bismi and not pismi. The second mistake with the letter ba is to make it thick if it comes next to a thick letter. So for example, the word al-batil, al-batil, that's the correct pronunciation. The incorrect pronunciation would be to say al-batil, al-ba. So correct, al-ba. Incorrect, al-ba. So let's recap and touch on those learning objectives once again. The three letters we talked about in this video were the fa, the waw, and the ba. The fa, the makhraj of the fa, f, is from the inside of the lower lips, with the tip of the upper incisors. And the second letter we spoke about was the letter waw, and we said that the makhraj of waw is by rounding the lips, and that is a key point, rounding the lips. And we differentiated between the waw maddiyah and the waw non-maddiyah. And we said that the waw maddiyah is from the jawf, is from the emptiness of the throat and the mouth, while the waw non-maddiyah is from the lips by rounding the lips. And the third letter we spoke about was the letter ba, and the ba, makhraj-wise, is by closing the lips. And that's the three letters in this video from the makhraj of the shafatan, from the lips. And we'll see you in the next video, Insha'Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.